Greetings viewers, my name is Ida Bagus Putra Siddhartha, and as usual, today I want to presentation about metallurgy. For especially, we talk about steel product and properties. So you can read my profile in this slide. For the presentation, I use the book reference the book Metallurgy for the Non-Metallurgists, second edition, that has been edited by Arthur Shearer. For the main subjects we talk about today, so we have 5 points. We talk about classification of steel, carbon steel, alloying element in steel, and strength and toughness. So let's talk about the introduction about this title, steel product and properties. So as you can see, all steel are fundamentally alloy of iron and carbon, with the possible addition of selected alloying elements such as magnesium, silicones, chromium, nickel, sulfur, molybdenum, vanadium, niobium, and tungsten, as well as other alloy or impurity elements that impart specific properties. So we will begin to talk about the first point. We talk about classification of steel. For the introduction, classification of steel. Steel form one of the most complex group of alloy in common use, and there are many ways to classify steel. Classification of steel based on chemical composition is a widely used method. There are 3 very broad-based categories of steel based on composition: plain carbon steel, low alloy steel, and high alloy steel, which includes stainless steel. However, it is important to point out that steel are classified in many other ways. For example, classification may be based on this list, as you can see in this slide. We will talk about steel making. Steel making can be broadly classified into 2 steps: primary steel making in a converter or furnace, and secondary steel making in a ladle. The deoxidation practice. Oxygen is generally considered an undesirable element in steel because it's combined with other elements including magnesium, silicon, aluminum, and titanium to form oxide inclusion that can degrade toughness and fatigue resistance. Solidification method. After steel is melted and refined, it is then solidified into useful form by various casting methods. On a tonnage basis, most steel is now solidified in continuous casting operation. But casting of steel still involves the original method of solidifying into inert product forms. Various steel product forms, called mill product, are produced in steel mills either by continuous casting method or by the breakdown of inert into various wrought forms by rolling, drawing, and extrusion operation. The various types of mill steel product including sheet and coil of low carbon steel application range from cars to appliances, wire used in such product as bed spring, circular shape used in building, and bars for forging machine parts such as a gear and bearing. Finishing method. The surface of steel product is influenced by its finishing method. In roll mill product, finishing it by either hot rolling or cold rolling. Microstructure. Steel can be classified according to the microstructure at room temperature. Heat treatment are used to produce microstructure that can consist of either perlite, monazite, or granite, or some combination thereof. Requires strength level. Purchasing standard of steel and many other materials often specify a minimum required level of strength, and some categories of steel are defined by their mechanical properties. Another category of steel based on strength is a group called ultra-high strength steel. These are commercial structure steel capable of a minimum yield strength of 1380 MPa or 200 KSI. The type of ultra-high strength steel are medium carbon, low alloy steel, medium alloy air hardening steel, and the last one is high alloy hardenable steel. Heat treatment. One of the primary advantages of steel is their ability to attain high strength through heat treatment while still retaining some degree of ductility. And the last one is quality descriptor. Steel are described by a host of quality descriptors depending on the product and type of application. Carbon steel. All steel are iron carbon alloy with carbon content from 0.02% to less than 2%. The so-called plain carbon steel contains small amount of manganese and silicon. Carbon steel can be classified further on the basis of carbon content. Steel containing less than 0.30% carbon is called low carbon steel or mild steel. Steel containing between 0.20 and 0.60 carbon is called medium carbon steel, and steel containing more than 0.60% carbon is called a high carbon steel. Spark pattern can be used to identify low, medium, and high carbon steel. Carbon level have pronounced effect on properties. Carbon is very limited solution in iron, and a hard carbide component FeC3 called a cementite form when carbon is added to iron. That's it. As you can see, this part is the image that we talked about before. And let's talk about the alloy steel. Alloy steel containing manganese, silicon, or copper in quantities greater than those for the carbon steel, or they have specified range or minimum for one or more of the other alloying elements such as nickel, chromium, molybdenum, and so forth. Sometimes alloy steel are further defined as being either low alloy steel or high alloy steel, depending on whether total alloying content is less than 8%. This is not a hard and fast rule because some steel with alloying slightly above 8% are sometimes referred to as medium alloy steel. The high strength low alloy steel, or we call it HSLA, are designed to provide better mechanical properties and or greater resistance to atmospheric corrosion than conventional carbon steel. They are not considered to be alloy steel in the normal sense because they are designed to meet specific mechanical properties rather than a chemical composition. The type of HSLE steel commonly used including 1. Weathering steel designed to exhibit superior atmospheric corrosion resistance. 2. The control rolled steel, hot roll according to predetermined rolling schedule designed to develop a highly deformed austenite structure that transforms to a very fine exquisite ferrite structure on cooling. The others, there's perlite reduced steel, microalloy steel, acicular ferrite steel, dual phase steel. Okay, that's it. Then we talk about the low alloy steel. Constitute a category of ferrous material that exhibit mechanical properties superior to plain carbon steel, resulting from addition of such alloying elements as nickel, chromium, and molybdenum. High alloy steel with alloying greater than 90%, are typically classified as a high alloy steel. Stainless steel, they are the major types of high alloy steel. Then let's talk about the alloying element in steel. Steel forms one of the most complex group of alloy in common use. The synergetic effect of alloying element and heat treatment produce a tremendous variety of microstructure and properties. There's some carbon is the most important alloying element in steel. Manganese is the normally present in all commercial steel. Silicon is one of the principal deoxidizers used in steelmaking. Copper, in appreciable amount, can be detrimental to hardworking operation and has a moderate tendency to segregate. Chromium is generally added to steel to increase resistance to corrosion and oxidation, to increase hardenability, to improve high temperature strength, or to improve abrasion resistance in high carbon composition. Nickel, when used as an alloying element in constructional steel, is a varied strengthener. Molybdenum, vanadium, niobium, aluminium, titanium, boron, tungsten, zirconium, calcium, cerium, lead, bismuth, nitrogen, phosphorus, sulfur, hydrogen, tin, and arsenic, antimony. Those are the synergetic effect of alloying elements. And the last point, we will talk about strength and toughness. The word steel has become synonymous with strength, and the description strong as steel is commonly in everyday language. Steel is usually associated with strength because in many of its use is necessarily that steel in one form or another supports a load. High strength carbon and low steel have yield strengths greater than 275 MPa or 40 KSI and can be more or less divided into 4 classifications: Acerols carbon manganese steel, Acerols high strength low alloy, or heat treated low alloy steel. Toughness. Steel are generally considered as tough material, that is, they can absorb the energy of an impact without breaking. Excelsive and strengthening components of an automobile are examples of application requiring toughness, because fracture of this component during service will be life-threatening. Fatigue strength. When a steel component is subject to repeat or cyclic stresses including vibration stress, the part of fail by fatigue, even though the both stress level acting on the part may be below the yield strength of a steel. The most effective and economical method of improving fatigue strength involves designing the part to eliminate stress rise, avoiding sharp surface, preventing the development of surface continuous, improving surface finishes, and controlling the detail fabrication. And the other, elevated temperature strengths. Carbon steel and alloy steel with the ferrite, perlite, or ferrite bainite microstructure are used extensively at elevated temperature in fossil fuel-fired power generating plant, aircraft power plant, chemical processing plant, and petroleum processing plant. Many applications, however, are even more familiar. And we talk about the corrosion. The word corrode is derived from the Latin corrode, which is meant to gnaw to pieces. Corrosion takes on many forms and can be defined in many ways. For the purpose presented here, the metallurgical definition of corrosion is an electrochemical process whereby metal atom exchange electron with atom in the environment. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you for watching. We will see another video from me in the next video. Thank you.